Hey guys, what's up? Andrew Gamer GL here, and welcome back to yet another video. And I just want to say the reason why I haven't really uploaded any videos lately is because I got a cold not too long ago, so I couldn't really do any recordings, so sorry about that. But I'm feeling much better now. But also, the video that I'm making today is a bit different from the videos that I would normally make. And this is gonna be instead be a video about a sport that I have been following for quite some time, but I never really talked about on my channel. And that sport is, of course, Formula One. Now, some of you new viewers to my channel might be asking me, what is Formula One basically? I'm gonna tell you what it is. So basically, it is a racing sport where there are, well, a racing motorsport to be more exact, where teams can design and build cars with unique designs and let them race at tracks all around the world. Well, not all over the world, it's mostly just Europe, but you get what I mean. And I think the main beauty of why I love Formula One so much is purely just because of the entertainment and also how technical and really deep these cars could be. Like, seriously, the amount of technical work and detail that goes into making and creating these cars is absolutely insane. And I really admire all the work that the Formula One teams do. Basically, a quick for anyone who is new viewers, there are usually about 20 to 24 races in a year called Grand Prix, and 10 teams usually compete in it. And then the top 10 in those races would score points, from 25 for winning the race all the way down to 10th, which only gives you 1 point. And you also do get an extra point for fastest lap. So but it only happens when if you're in the top 10. If you're outside the top 10, fastest lap is pretty much pointless. You get it? Because you don't get a point, so it's pointless. I know I'm a bad comedian. Anyway, but before the main event, which is the race, there are usually 2 to 3 practice sessions. Sometimes there is sprint qualifying, and sometimes there's just normal qualifying. So, in a typical normal race weekend, usually there are 3 practice sessions, 2 on Friday and 1 on a Saturday. And later during that day on Saturday, that's like the team's last chance to set up their cars and get ready for the next session, which is, of course, qualifying. Qualifying basically determines the grid from who's going to be starting the race from 1st to 20th. And qualifying is divided into 3 sessions: Q1, Q2, and Q3. Q1 basically eliminates the first bottom 5 slowest drivers of that session, and then the second qualifying session eliminates the second row bottom 5 slowest times set by drivers. And then when the top 10 is set for Q3, those top 10 will battle it out, try to shoot out to get a perfect lap in, a perfect fastest lap in to set pole position for the winning race. And since overtaking is actually not too easy in this sport because of how the cars are designed. Getting a high grid position is really key. I could go more on and on about how this sport is run, but I'll get into that to other videos because I don't want to waste up all of this time just on one video, you know. I gotta make more content, boys. But yeah, just for a bit of context, these were the cars we had last year and for pretty much the past few years. These were a little bit older generation of cars. And this year, we have these new regulations cars that are made much easier to overtake and pass. But also, I want to say a little bit of context about me being a Formula One fan. I started watching Formula One all the way back when in 2010, like when I was 6 or 7 years old with my dad. And it was a very different sport back then to where it is now. The cars were so different. It was much more difficult to overtake. And if an overtake or crash happened, it would really spice up and make the race interesting. Now, however, since 2011, when DRS got included, things got a lot better for overtaking, I would say. But yeah, I've seen Formula One since 2010, around to 2016. I've seen many drivers come and go. And then after 2015, I believe, I took a little bit of a break in 2016 because that was the year where my dad passed away, and it was a pretty rough time during that time. And then I believe around 2019 time, I came back to the sport again. And I've been hooked on this sport ever since then. I absolutely love watching it. Literally, I've sacrificed a few school classes. I've sacrificed really good sleep to watch these F1 races if they come early at my time. Because I actually live in Egypt, so I don't have a regular time zone for watching these Formula One races. Also, I just want to say, if I don't explain it extremely well, that is because I don't want to make this video too long. And also, second of all, if you do want to find out more about this sport, then I recommend checking YouTube channels like Driver61 or The Race. They really go deep into the technical side and the rules of Formula One, and they basically make all our lives as F1 fans much easier and makes the sport much easier to understand. And of course, if you want to get to the drama aspect of Formula One has its own Netflix show, Drive to Survive, which some of you I think might actually know. So yeah. And also, I didn't come massively prepared for this video, but I guess I could use this as explanatory. The 10 teams that are on this grid are Ferrari, the red car, Mercedes, the car that's next to it, that's silver, McLaren, the orange one right behind it, AlphaTauri, which is right behind the McLaren, and then right behind the AlphaTauri is the Alpine, the blue Alpine, and then right next to the blue Alpine, that's a Red Bull. They are currently the leading champions. And then behind, a little bit further behind, is the Williams. And then if you look a little bit further row back, you see that green car, that's an Aston Martin. And then if you look to the right, a little bit further down, you see the Alfa Romeo, which is a red whitish car. And then you see behind it a Haas car, which is more white and has a little bit of red outlines. I'll probably go into more detail about the drivers in future videos, but as I said, I don't want to make this video too long. So anyway, I want to introduce you guys to what I like about this sport, as I mentioned earlier in this video, and also who are the teams I like, who are the drivers that I root for, and I'm gonna tell you all this in this video. So basically, there are three teams that I root for: Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, and the leading champions, Red Bull. Although they do have a bit of controversy with the cost cap pretty recently. I might cover that in a future video. But yeah, those are the three teams that I root for. In terms of outright favorites, I don't think I actually have a locked in favorite team in Formula One. I think these are just the three teams that I really, really like, and I can't say I like more than the other. Oh, and of course, I can't dislike Red Bull because they were the team that gave my favorite driver 4 world championships off the bat from 2010 to 2013. And they're currently leading the Constructors' Championship and the World Championship with Max Verstappen as well, which is pretty cool. So this is Max Verstappen, as you guys could see. And now I'm gonna be talking about the drivers that I really like. But in my opinion, if there is one driver that I absolutely outright loved more than any other driver in this sport, and that will probably stay this way for a very long time, and I'm very sad that he is retiring. He is a 4-time world champion. Of course, I am talking about my man, my boy, Sebastian Vettel. Now, his career trajectory might not have been too great for these past few years, but also at the same time, he hasn't really had the best of luck with the kind of machinery he gets given by his teams in the previous years, with the Ferrari years he was driving for them from 2015 to 2020, and now Aston Martin from 2021 to right now. It's a bit of a shame, but I am glad he is at least ending this season off in a bang, because in one of the worst cars, he's currently sitting 11th in the World Drivers' Championship with 4 races to go. And he's not too far away from who's in 10th place in an Alfa Romeo, although he's also another driver that I really like, so I'm a bit conflicted by that. But yeah, he's been having a pretty good season this year, I'd say, given the kind of car and machinery he's been given. So the other drivers that I really like are Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, both driving for Alfa Romeo, Mick Schumacher, who's driving for Haas, although his seat is not confirmed for next year, and I've heard a lot of rumors that Haas might drop him at the end of the season, which is a bit unfortunate. And also, I also really like Fernando Alonso, which is a bit ironic because Vettel and Alonso were pretty fierce rivals back in the day in 2010 to 2012. I'm pretty sure the Vettel and Alonso fan bases are still at each other's throats to this day. But look, I'll say, whatever you say about those two, whatever you think about their personality or what they have done, these two drivers, the fact is, these are two legends in our sport who are competing. So be thankful for everything they have done for us. So yeah, I think that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. We just finished off the Japanese Grand Prix, which was about 2 weeks ago, I believe, or almost 2 weeks. And in a few days, we're gonna have the United States Grand Prix at Kota coming up, which I'm a bit interested in, although the time is quite late for this race, and I may not stay up for it too long. Oh, and also, if you guys want to know if there's any driver I dislike, to be honest, there's no driver I hate. I actually think all of the drivers are pretty likable. But if there's one I had to pick that's a little bit dislikable, I have to pick George Russell. Because if you guys have been keeping up with the past few Formula One races, and even in general, how his attitude has been for the past 2 years, I guess you could say, that you would understand why he is starting to get disliked. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my first ever video that I've done for Formula One. And if you have enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button if you want more future videos from me. And I'll see you all in the next video. Probably another F1 one. And I'll see you again soon. Peace out.